only thing I desired in this world was for you to ravenously eat my—
If this channel was monetized right now, I can guarantee it would not make a single cent with the topic we're discussing today. 2015 brought us a lot. The revival of Star Wars, a new Avengers movie, back when people still cared, which is a crazy thing to even be saying. Undertale, the final Metal Gear Solid game. I could go on, but among all of these gems was one that stood out like no other. Shimoneta!
Yo, who the fuck is this nigga?
Shimoneta is a staple of my adolescence, for better or for worse. A boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist. I very recently watched Sex Education for the first time, and with the final season upon us, I was like, wow, this is the perfect video. Throughout my entire time watching this show, I couldn't help but think about Shimoneta. These shows are far more similar than you think, low-key. Now, at first glance, this might be a reach, but let me explain. Moordale, the school in which most of Sex Education takes place, captures the essence of Shimoneta's world, but in a condensed setting, especially in the third season. In the world of Shimoneta, it's illegal to talk about anything pertaining to the hanky-panky at all, and you will be put in a cell if you're caught. Let's look at Hope, Moordale's new principal, and the student council of Shimoneta. Hope's whole MO is rebranding the whole school, which is literally known as the horny school around town. So niggas got uniforms now, no more fucking outside of the bushes, the Great Wall of Fuckery has been covered up. It's all bad. It's all bad. Eventually the students get tired of their new principal shit, and they decide to say fuck it to the new rules, and they devise a crazy plan to change their school back to its previous status quo of the sex education school. They do so by exposing the entire student body, faculty, and board members to the raunchiest video in the known universe. Sound familiar? Shimoneta's student council is trying to put an end to the freedom fighters who are trying to expose their whole school to sex. These freedom fighters are known as socks, cause it sounds like sex. These freedom fighters have come up with an ingenious plan to expose their whole student body to the world of raunch by showing them Anyway, I feel like I'm not making this up and this actually happened, but they also made a bunch of toys for the student body too. They was getting into some wacky shenanigans in this show. I can't. Both of these shows are about a gang of homies who are fighting an oppressive system that seeks to take away their freedom, their sexual freedom. I want to say that Shimoneta goes about this in a far more wacky way than Shimoneta, but then I remember scenes like this. There are also hella parallels between both shows' pairs of main characters, Otis and Maeve, and Okuma and Ayame. While Otis is a far more interesting main character, both him and Okuma are more or less normal guys who are presented with a proposition by their love interest, question mark, to help sexually liberate their peers at school. Which probably sounds insane if you haven't seen either of these shows. To be honest, it sounds insane if you have seen either of these shows, but we ride. Now, how do each of these pairs go about the sexual freedom of their peers? Well, Otis and Maeve go about it by becoming, we'll call them lovemaking therapists, while Okuma and Ayame decide to go about this by becoming terrorists. Close enough, right? You feel me? Yeah, bada boo. But in both of these shows, the main cast of characters end up becoming a positive force of justice for their students and helping them learn about the wonders of the Sex Education has their own little socks in the form of the main cast. I don't know if I'll have a chance to say it in this video because this is more of an outlook, a general outlook on both shows, but Eric is the GOAT and Shuti Gatwa is the GOAT also. Eric is the best part about Sex Education. And Sex Education is already a pretty excellent show. Shooty Gatsu is really about to make me care about Doctor Who again too. That's crazy, but apparently that shit is indefinitely like on hiatus or something. Shooty Gatsu as the Doctor would have been crazy, but we're straying heavily from the topic. I needed to get it out there that Eric is the GOAT though. Anyway, also these two are both thirsty as hell. Feeding. Lily gets to become normal, but Anna but let's briefly talk about what makes these shows different. Obviously, the mediums in which these stories are told are pretty vastly different. Anime gets really wacky with its presentation and character design, but where Shimoneta leans into the abolished censorship aspect of the show's theme, Sex Education really leans into the, you guessed it, sex education of it all. This show actually teaches its audience about the real life scientific hanky-panky shit like vaginismus and how you might just be allergic to the raspberry flavored rubber instead of having syphilis. But yeah, this video idea has been in my head for like 2 months now, and it's kind of making me want to rewatch Shimoneta. New season of Sex Education either just came out or is about to come out too, so I probably should also watch that too. I haven't seen Shimoneta since like ages 11 or 12, so I really don't know how well it's aged. TBH, it could be great, it could be dookie dog water, could be somewhere in the middle. I have no idea, but yeah, enjoy the video, watch another one. Hey, you got time, and if you don't have time, shit, make time. Please.
I can't feel my face right now, I'm burning up. I got this feeling that I won't come down like, got this feeling that I won't come down like, got this feeling that I won't come down like. I can't feel my face right now, I'm burning up. I got this feeling that I won't come down like, got this feeling that I won't